All right, welcome to Trackman software tutorial. Basically, this is going to cover how to play simulator golf on Trackman in the Shroggy. So, what you're looking at is the home screen of TPS, Trackman Performance Studio TPS software. If you ever come in the Shroggy and it's not open, it's this icon right here. I generally will leave it on Tiger's face just so it's easy to find. But this is what it looks like when you load it up. It gives you practice options, courses, games, leagues and contests. Virtual golf simulators are in under courses. So as we hit courses, it'll take us to our list of options. Some of them will have this little download cloud icon. Those are just not on the hard drive. They need to be on the hard drive to play. You can play any of them, just click this button and it'll download it when you hit continue. You can sort them out by links, par 3 courses, what's the newest and latest and greatest the Trackman has. And you can also search for the course you're looking for. Just click on it, hit continue. You're going to add players. You can play up to 8 players. If you have a Trackman account, you would sign in. If not, you can add as a guest. That's the simplest thing to do. Most people don't need a Trackman account. This is where you would select the tees that you want to play, and you could add your handicap. If you wanted to play a net game with your buds. And before you start playing, you want to check game settings. So it'll default to net stroke play. Gross stroke play is an option. It'll keep skins. Match play, you can do teams, all sorts of formats. You can pick front or back 9. Decide how hard you want the pins to be. Putting is the big thing with Trackman. There is a manual putting option. Competitive Trackman tournaments will use manual aimed putting. Putting gets a little complicated indoors. Most people just choose to auto putt. You can auto 2-putt, which will just give you a 2-putt if you hit it on the green, and a 1-putt if you hit it within 8 feet. You can auto putt by handicap, which will take the make percentage of your handicap ability, 1-putts, 2-putts, 3-putts, and randomly pick based on the percentages. You can auto putt by a Tour Pro, which is kind of fun. It just gives you sort of randomly a 1-putt or a 2-putt. So those are your putting options. We'll go auto 2-putt for this game. And then also in game settings, we can change the course around. So we can make it super windy if we want. We can make the fairways roll out a little more or a little softer. Same thing with the greens. And then we can change the stimp, which if you're not putting, it's not a big deal, but you'll notice it on chip shots and stuff. If you make it really fast, your chip shots will roll out a bunch. And those are our settings. So we'll start the game. It will always take you through this aiming screen. If you're playing indoors into the screen, just hit this auto target button right here, and a giant QR code will come up on the screen, and Trackman will orient itself to the screen. So it's important that you aim the Trackman, or you're going to get some wonky shots. And it'll take you right to the first tee. So this is number 1 at Valhalla. The player that's coming up will show up in the corner between shots. And what you'll get on your screen is a running net score up here. What's going on with the player whose turn it is in the top left corner. In the bottom left, it'll give you the yardage that you have, the elevation change, and a power and spin options. So if you hit it in the rough or you hit it in a bunker, these numbers will change. You'll lose spin and power. So you have to hit it harder to get it to go the distance that you need it to go. We'll show that here in a second. And then over here on the right, we get a little map of the hole where I can change where I'm aiming. So as I move this crosshair around, you can see the screen shifting around, so I can sort of pick, okay, I hit my driver about this far. Let's aim in that neighborhood. And once you've decided where you want to aim, then you just hit your shot. It'll show you the next player's turn, whoever's up next in the corner. Same deal. You can aim yourself where you want. And fire away. So we can see Bob's away. It's Bob's turn next. And now he's got 227 to the hole. It's a little downhill. And since he's in the rough, his ball's not going to go as far as he hits it. It's going to go about 90% of the distance that he actually hits it with less spin. So adjust accordingly, choose your club accordingly. Down here, the club selection doesn't matter. You can ignore that. Unless you want to putt from off the green. That has to be switched to putter, otherwise it's not going to recognize a putt. But you can kind of decide where he wants to try and hit it, move it around all you want to, and then hit your shot. So we can see our first player's turns coming up down here in the corner, how far he's going to have. And since he's in the fairway, he gets 100% power and spin. He can pick middle of the green, or if he wants to try and get it on the front edge. And we can see the gimme circle here. If the ball gets in that gimme circle, he gets a one putt. So this is going to be a two putt for par. So short game around the greens. If this player decided he wanted to putt from here, this is where he would actually have to change clubs. So click right here, select putter. Now you can putt. It won't recognize a chip shot. If you want to chip it, change it to a 60-degree wedge. And we can see our inside the gimme circle one putted, our outside the gimme circle two putted. The scores will change on the next hole. It'll take us to the next hole. Bob must have been getting a shot on that hole. So he's still even par. He made a net par. And that is virtual golf.